You've probably seen this. Or this.
Statement by the Attorney General's Chambers on investigations into 1MDB, the central bank says it had recommended the AG initiate criminal proceedings against the state-linked fund. In its probe, Bank Negara found 1MDB to be in breach of the Exchange Control Act for not providing complete disclosure in its application to invest abroad.
Question is, how much of it is true? How much of what you see or hear from the television is actually true, or real for the matter? Let me enlighten your minds with an interesting story. Some you might have heard, others you might just have to dig through the darker parts of the internet to find out, or just go to proxy.org for all your incognito internet needs. Anyway, back to our main objective here. Have a look at this report.
The attacks and criticisms on One Malaysia Development Berhad, 1MDB, is nothing but a war of perception. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Najib Tun Razak says after properly explaining the real issue behind 1MDB matter, it is clear that the matter could be easily resolved.
And this.
When I came to office 2009, I introduced a slew of reforms.
The reality of Malaysian politics is you need money to run politics. Mr. Najib is also a politician.
Which one of these reports would you bet your money on? Although, to be fair, you can't say anything on the internet with the risk of getting your website banned or have yourself be arrested for sedition. However, on TV, the news is heavily controlled. Journalists are somehow forced into a corridor with nowhere to run but to follow the path set by our beloved government. The main issue here is not whether the reports are stating the truth. That's a video for another day. But how does this affect our right to speak? Or more specifically, how the journalists report? Media flexibility keeps on being debilitated by tight governmental control. In spite of the fact that the majority of the printing presses and publications are for the government. The term freedom of speech is just being used for the namesake of the Malaysian citizen, where the true picture is we as Malaysians only get to say what the government wants to hear from us. And if at all anything seems to be offending or going against the government's propaganda, I think we all know what happens then.
A camera pushed to the ground. It seemed they were under instructions perhaps to prevent the media from filming that kind of thing.
Hello, Mr. Prime Minister. Can you explain all the hundreds of millions of dollars in your account? Mr. Prime Minister.
What are you trying to do?
No, it's just a press conference.
No. Let him away. What are you trying to do?
Just ABC press conference.
Where's your identity? We do not know about you.
I'm just a journalist for a press conference.
The intriguing viewpoint to watch will be the discussion that happens among residents. There have been more voices all around, some vigorously strong of the administration and others mightily basic. Numerous Malaysians are not yet sure what to choose, whether we would be taking after a dictator model of administration or a more liberal one. Numerous are, likewise, not certain whether Malaysia ought to be a common state or a more Islamic one. There have been a few endeavors to connect the gap. However, relatively few have been effective. It will be imperative to witness how this advances later on.